Ladies and welcome to another edition of Yours Mode. Welcome to Smackdown, the first episode of Smackdown after a bash. We are live here in San Francisco, California. Ladies and gentlemen, later on tonight, we have an amazing show for you guys installed here tonight. As in the main event, Undertaker will defend the World Heavyweight title against Matt Hardy. But first, to kick things off here tonight in Smackdown, Dolph Ziggler is in the ring and he has something to say. As well as Ziggler, of course, came up short against Drew McIntyre for the intercontinental at the bash. And now, well, here he goes, kicking off the night here. So, of course, Ziggler lost that bash. He put up one hell of a fight, if you ask me. Ziggler kicked off multiple Future Shock DDTs at the end of the day. At the end of the day, Ziggler still lost. And now Dolph here wants to admit that Sunday Drew was the better man of him. He got the better of Ziggler, and he has the intercontinental around his waist to prove it. And now, at the end of the day, well, Ziggler is admitting that Drew was better than him. And now Ziggler here gonna immediately walk out. Well, that was quick. Ziggler seems well, never mind. This is a weird side of Ziggler. Sentimental, and well, there we go. And now Ziggler making another statement here. The best on the mic and the best in that ring. And he refused to let one loss bring him down. At the best, Drew did beat him, but it took a whole lot to actually bring him down, as I did mention. At the end of the day, Ziggler still walked out of the arena. Ziggler, this is a different side of him. He's usually fired up here, but well, I don't know. It's just something different about Ziggler here. And now, while Ziggler no longer has a rematch clause, he wants a rematch against McIntyre for the Intercontinental at Night of Champions. How prestigious can McIntyre continue to make that Intercontinental title, and well, how longer can McIntyre stay the very best here on SmackDown? Ziggler really is fired up here to kick things off here at night on SmackDown. And now when he stepped to the ring from the 100% fully ready, fully fired up Dolph Ziggler. He wants this rematch. Will it happen? As now Ziggler exits the ring. The crowd, we're all shocked here. Weird way to kick us off on SmackDown. Ziggler wants this rematch for the Intercontinental. He no longer has a rematch clause. So we shall see what the anonymous SmackDown GM does about that. But anyway, as I did say earlier on, your main event, Matt Hardy, The Undertaker for the World Heavyweight Championship. So there you go. And when I kick us off here, Rob Van Dam, of course, formerly was on ECW until the last episode of ECW was, well, the go-home show of ECW before the bash, in which were Vince to end off that edition of ECW. He said he's shutting it all down. He closed it all down, and now, well, of course, we had superstars like Christian who were on SmackDown before, they came over to the newly revived ECW. And well, RVD, he came back to WWE in the ECW brand, but now he's being sent over here to SmackDown, which shows that the superstars who made their debuts or returns to WWE in the ECW brand, they'll be randomly sent either to Raw or SmackDown, while the superstars who are already affiliated with a brand before, getting drafted or ECW, then they'll go back to their regular brands. So anyway, here we go. RVD, he's going to take on the Intercontinental Champion Drew McIntyre, in which we've heard a couple of stuff about him to kick us off here by Ziggler. Ziggler, he wants his rematch. He was fired up there. Usually you see Ziggler fired up, but I don't know, something was just different about Dolph, to say the least. Of course, he tries to be the best he can be, tries to be better than everyone else, and well, sometimes he does a pretty good job about it. He was mad about losing to McIntyre. McIntyre hit him with a whole lot of maneuvers. Of course, multiple STOs and multiple Future Shock DDTs, and Ziggler kept kicking out. I believe it was like 5 or 6. It took 5 or 6, maybe even 7 at most, of the Future Shock DDTs to put Ziggler away. At the very least, it was 4. At the very highest, it was 7. So McIntyre, he had to hit Ziggler with a whole lot of Future Shock DDTs to put him away. And ultimately, at the end of the night, McIntyre did, and McIntyre still holds the Intercontinental title, as we see right there. Drew McIntyre, he's fired up here. He's going to face off against Rob Van Dam. This is non-title, of course. And well, last week, we did have Rey Mysterio defeat Dolph Ziggler in the go-home edition of SmackDown. So Ziggler also, heading into the bash, wasn't going off some good momentum. He got a couple of victories on SmackDown, and I believe one on Superstars as well. before the bash. But then on the final go-home edition of SmackDown before the bash, that was where he finally got lost, heading into, the IC title matchup. So anyway, to kick us off here, RVD and Drew McIntyre non-title contest. Definitely got to think if RVD wins here tonight, future IC title shot in, will be in the future for RVD. And now let's see right there, Van Dam getting taken down. Of course, McIntyre going to have to work on the legs throughout this matchup here. We have to take away the greatest asset of RVD, which is those legs. And now RVD going to kick McIntyre off there. RVD had a questionable, there you go, 450. Not going to be able to complete my sentence. 450 to the outside by RVD. Just showcasing some of the many high-fly maneuvers he could do onto McIntyre that McIntyre is most likely not going to be ready for. And now the educated feet of RVD being put into good use. Go behind here. And now Rob Van Dam going to take him. Amateur wrestling takedown. Nicely done on the part of Rob Van Dam. And now going to wear down the arm here. And now the Intercontinental Champion Drew McIntyre is in trouble. Ref on count 7 now. And McIntyre making his way into the ring. Misses the clothesline, but RVD missing his respective maneuver. And now has him and gonna leapfrog him with a monkey flip. Nicely done by Van Dam, and of course, I was trying to complete what I said before he did the 450 splash, but of course, to end things off in ECW, for like the last couple episodes of ECW, RVD had a new questionable type attitude, losing that number 1 contenders ECW title matchup. And then when the man who was in that matchup, being AJ Styles, RVD just took his frustrations out on him. Saying how Styles never deserved to be in that matchup, even though Styles never won. If anything, Ryder won. But, and then RVD and Styles had a match in which Styles did win, and then the tag team match between Zack Ryder and RVD taking on AJ Styles and Christian, of course. Which ultimately did lead to the team of Zack Ryder and RVD winning against AJ Styles and the ECW champion, at that time at least, Christian. And of course, in the previous edition of Raw, we did have Zack Ryder come out with the Hardcore title. So now the ECW title has been replaced by the Hardcore Championship with a 24/7 rule. So that also means Ryder, while he is assigned to the Raw brand, he was originally on Raw before getting drafted over to ECW. Now that ECW is dead, he's been sent back to Raw. But he can actually appear here on Raw and SmackDown since he is the Hardcore Champion, which equals a 24/7 title defense rule. Anyone from Raw, anyone can SmackDown, could challenge for that title at any time. As of course we saw Primo try to do so immediately after Ryder's announcement. And he came up short, getting thrown off the stage, of course. And then suffering a loss to Chris Jericho last night on Superstars. So Primo hasn't been doing all too well for him over on Raw. But, speaking of Superstars, we shall get a recap of that Chris Jericho and Primo matchup. And, we shall also see the shocking aftermath after the Jericho and Primo matchup. That will be your recap segment after this one-on-one contest between these two great athletes. I see right there, McIntyre misses the chop to the chest, and now Van Dam here. Couple strikes here, has the arm now. RVD gets the kick to connect. And now another kick. Van Dam now on the roll. Here has him, and Frankensteiner taking him down right there. McIntyre falls, heading back first. Nasty landing for the Intercontinental Champion, and now RVD here has the legs. We saw Natalya do this on many occasions to step for a sharpshooter. It has been pretty devastating in the past, as we have seen. This one made her win the Divas title. That maneuver and the sharpshooter followed shortly after. Anyway, now RVD here planning on going for a springboard, misses McIntyre. I thought McIntyre was going to hit him in midair for a second. Luckily enough for RVD, he was able to just overshoot it. And now here we go. McIntyre here has him up. Suplex. Basic but effective. RVD back up to his feet. Definitely going to feel the effects of that later on in the match, of course, though. And now here we go. Go behind and the elbow right to the back. And now McIntyre gets taken down with a kick for his troubles by RVD. And now Van Dam here going to kick for his own troubles. And now rebounded into a power slam. Nicely done on the part of the Intercontinental Champion. Definitely got to think Dolph Ziggler is watching backstage. Like I said, Ziggler, weird. There's just something off about him in that opening segment to kick us off here tonight on SmackDown. There was something off about it. But nevertheless, as we continue on with the action here, RVD misses the kick. McIntyre now misses the punch here. So far, it's been pretty even in this matchup. But now here we go, the STO. I think that's an STO, whatever. Saw this plenty of times at the Bash by McIntyre to Ziggler. Took many of these, and the future shocks to keep Ziggler down. How many of these will it take to keep RVD down is the question. We shall see. The first one of the matchup, maybe the last, as is on 2, and it's a 3 count. The future shock DT proves once again to be completely devastating. McIntyre, major victory against Rob Van Dam here tonight. The Intercontinental Champion Drew McIntyre wins this non-title contest, so RVD, he's not going to get an Intercontinental shot anytime soon. As now what's this? And well, we saw him earlier on to kick off the night. Dolph Ziggler here, staring down Drew McIntyre. He wants McIntyre to accept the challenge. Well, maybe later on tonight we shall hear from McIntyre. Maybe in the next couple of weeks before Night of Champions, I have no idea. But so far it's up in the air on who's going to face Drew for the Intercontinental in the future. Anyway, as we now continue on here, Divas action now underway. As Alicia Fox, well, she was doing well for herself in Universe Mode for a couple weeks. Of course, we did talk about that on many occasions. Those string of victories, those string of one-ups on Mickie James. Well, she's going to take on Maryse here tonight, and as to see right now, Maryse attacking Alicia Fox from behind. So there you go. Now, of course, the new Women's Champion Maryse successfully defeating former Women's Champion Beth Phoenix at the Bash via a roll-up. Got her out of nowhere. I believe it was a victory roll. And, well, Maryse able to become the new Women's Champion. I see her the French kiss DT onto the concrete on the outside. Maryse not playing no games here. She wants to get a victory in her first match as Women's Champion. Of course, this is a non-title contest, so we shall see how Maryse fares. And if Alicia Fox is to win, then maybe future title opportunity. And now, well, Fox, she got DT'd onto the outside. Head first she went. But so far, she's not looking too bad here. Doesn't seem like a concussion or anything, but still, she still could probably be hurt. Right now here, Alicia Fox, multiple strikes were delivered, and now has her back suplex taken down. Maryse definitely got to think Beth Phoenix is watching backstage. And now, let's see right there, Maryse's face getting just smashed into the mat, and once again, twice in a row here, Alicia Fox doing very well for herself so far here tonight. Or maybe not, it's off the ropes. And now, Lothar's pressing to multiple mounted punches right there. The new Women's Champion Maryse looking for a victory here tonight on SmackDown. As now just stomping and kicking her here. Doing whatever she can to keep her down, and now can give Alicia Fox a taste of her own medicine. Smashing her own face down to the mat. Stiff forearm right there by Fox, and now has her here taking her down. Reverse DDT, or like Dragon Sleeper Flatliner, not really too sure. And we're now into the ropes. Goes Maryse, and now Fox has her lariat, taking her down. Grabbed her wrist, took her down. And now Fox here has her once again snapmare. And now chinlock here applied into Maryse, looking to wear her down here. Fox wants Maryse to tap out, but I'm pretty sure it's going to take more than that to keep Maryse down. And now Maryse fine out of it. Couple of headbutts right to the mouth. And now collar now with tie up. Who's going to win this exchange is going to be the Women's Champion. And now Maryse has her now snapmare of her own. And now a chinlock of her own by Maryse to Alicia Fox. A taste of her own medicine here. And now Fox, she's struggling. She's struggling to get out this. Maryse has a lot of pressure applied to it. And Fox is going to tap out. She can't handle no more. Maryse with a victory right here on SmackDown. Well, quick matchup right there. Not gonna lie, there are some points in the matchup where I thought Fox could have actually won. Fox had chinlock on Maryse. Maryse, able to get out of it. Snapmare, chinlock of her own. And Maryse with the victory, the Women's Champion. Not really a dominant performance. A dominant victory towards the end, but midway through the matchup, if you ask me, I feel like Fox had majority of momentum going into it, as she did deliver more devastating maneuvers compared to Maryse. But at the end of the day, Maryse gets the victory, the Women's Champion, with a right to celebrate here tonight. As now Maryse grabs her woman's towel, and now she's going to grab a mic here, ladies and gentlemen. Maryse has something to say. Big victory for her. First victory after becoming Women's Champion. As now, well, see what she has to say. As see right there, major victory for her once again. At the Bash, she did defeat Beth Phoenix, and now proved to us why she is the better female competitor. And now just listing off. Well, she does have one insane ego, as now Beth Phoenix here interrupted Maryse. Maryse bragging about her own self, and now Beth, I don't think she's too happy about that. Well, Mike, up for her own, admitting that at the bash Maryse did defeat her. She won, however, via a roll-up. And now, she did catch her off guard, but now, Beth Phoenix announcing her rematch clause. And Maryse in the ring. She doesn't want to do it, as now Beth walking away short, but simple right there. Beth Phoenix is going to cash in her rematch clause against Maryse at Night of Champions. So there we go. So we're now going to take a recap to what happened last night at Superstars. Moments here, but not too much. I see her dropkick, the final statement after multiple shots, and Chris Jericho's on the roll here on Superstars. And now Jericho on top of the rope here. Here we go. We're just going to launch himself. The forearm, it's going to connect. And now, Lion Salt by Chris Jericho. Vintage Y2J right there. The Lion Salt. And now, it's not done yet. Primo is getting wrecked here by Chris Jericho. Jericho now has him. Has the legs. The walls. Are they going to be applied? The walls. Jericho has it locked in. Rolls Primo over to his belly. And Jericho yelling. He wants Primo to tap out here. And Primo is. Chris Jericho, impressive performance. And a big victory for him here tonight on Superstars. So there you go. Y2J, Chris Jericho gets the victory. Of course, the top rope maneuver right there. The forearm that connected off the top rope. The Lion Salt shortly after, which we haven't seen that in a while by Jericho. So that was awesome to see. And then, of course, made him tap him out. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's been one hell of an addition of Superstars here tonight. As on SmackDown, should also be good. Taker and Matt Hardy for the World Heavyweight Championship. That should be a good contest. Anyway, now, what's this here? Jericho celebrating the Miz now. Run down to the ring. And what? Miz is attacking Jericho. We need to get a camera in the ring here. We got something going on between the tag team partners. The former Unified Tag Team Champions. Can we get a camera here? As there you are, finally. Miz attacked Jericho from behind. I have no idea where Primo is. And now, what the hell? The Miz attacking his partner. After Jericho's victory, and now Jericho is trying to go to the outside. They're going to try to confront Miz here. Has to steal steps. Well, Miz will steal a chair. I did mention the tension earlier on in the matchup, of course. The past one between Jericho and Miz, where Jericho for some reason punched Miz in the face. I don't know why. And I've had said on multiple episodes of Raw and Superstars that don't know why it happened. And now Miz here is just trying to he's trying to attack Chris Jericho. The former Unified Tag Team Champions are imploding here tonight right before our very eyes. And now Chris Jericho here gets caught in a neckbreaker. Swinging neckbreaker by the Miz. We've seen that on many occasions by the Awesome One. Miz using the steel chair to his advantage. Why? I don't get it. Besides that one time where Jericho attacked Miz, where after that there wasn't much tension. They just had good tag team chemistry at the bash. But here now at Superstars, the Miz thinks otherwise. The skull crushing finale onto his former tag team partner, I guess. Guess you could say former. And now Miz. Oh, come on. Well, it was fun while it lasted between these two. Miz, I guess, has imploded Chris Jericho. One hell of a victory against Primo here tonight in Superstars. After a well-fought victory by Jericho, Miz, his former tag team partner, decides to attack him. And Jericho, he's hurt. The steel chair shots, of course, the swinging neckbreaker, the DDT, and the skull crush finale all onto the concrete. And the Miz, he seems very happy about it. Questions need to be answered heading into the next edition of Raw. Of course, there you go. After Chris Jericho had an impressive performance against Primo in the main event of Superstars, after match's former tag team partner, The Miz, attacking him, and I did mention in that edition of Superstars last night, well, there wasn't really any intention besides that one random time Jericho punched Miz in the face during Miz's matchup against WWE Champion Randy Orton in a non-title contest. But still, questions need to be answered. They'll probably be answered on Raw. Now, here we go. Miz, he was set to face off against Tyson Kidd, and well, the match is obviously going to continue. Of course, Tyson Kidd one half of the Unified Tag Team Champions, because of course, this past Monday on Raw, the Hart Dynasty defeated Miz to become the new Unified Tag Team Champions. Of course, this past Sunday at the Bash, Miz retained by disqualification when Chris Jericho decided not to get back into his respected corner as he, well, used up the whole 5 count, which led to the disqualification. Ultimately, Miz retained the titles. Next night on Raw, 24 hours after or removed from the bash, we did have Miz lose to the Hart Dynasty. So the Hart Dynasty, they won their rematch clause for the tag titles. And now this leaves Miz with their rematch clause for tag titles until, whoever has the rematch clause will obviously lose. So the titles could actually go hot potato, to be fair. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, or at all. Because Miz, of course, attacked Chris Jericho last night on Superstars after his matchup. So I don't think Chris Jericho and Miz are going to be teaming up anytime soon. Jericho will respond to what he feels about the Miz attacking him. He will respond. And, well, Monday on Raw, so we shall wait for that. Anyway, Jericho, haven't seen anything from him. Haven't seen him at all. Not at all in the building or anything. So, Jericho, I would like to think he's not here tonight at SmackDown, but we shall see him Monday on Raw, and he shall respond to what Miz did. So, definitely should be interesting. This, of course, Tyson Kidd and The Miz. This should be interesting, especially since Miz is not going to have Jericho to watch backstage and to run down to help him. At least I would assume. Of course, Tyson Kidd, Dale Hart Smith finally win those tag titles, so it's good for them. They could, of course, run in between both Raw and SmackDown. Although they're both part of the Raw brand, they can still go in between Raw and SmackDown as the tag team champions, as can any tag team, really. We can have a SmackDown tag team appear on Raw, a Raw tag team appear on SmackDown. And, well, with those unified tag titles as well. And right now, Miz here, suplex, taking down Tyson Kidd. Probably a brainbuster, maybe, as well. And now Lothar's press mounted punches shortly after by the Awesome One. Multiple of those. Club and Tyson Kidd. And, well, this is a very familiar match, to say at least, because, of course, to set up for the bash, we did have multiple matches, ranging from Chris Jericho versus Tyson Kidd versus Miz, Miz versus Dave Hart Smith, Dave Hart Smith versus Chris Jericho, although I don't think D.H. Smith taking on Chris Jericho happened to sub for the bash. But you get what I mean. There was a whole lot of 1-1 matches between those two teams to sub for the bash. Ultimately, Miz won by disqualification, of course. But then, everything led to the Hart Dynasty winning 24 hours after the bash. Anyway, snap suplex right there by Tyson Kidd. Incredible athlete. And what I did say, I have said this in the past, if one of the Hart Dynasty is to ever win a singles title here in Nearest Mode, I definitely have to think Tyson Kidd would definitely win it first. No offense to Dave Hart Smith, he is an amazing athlete as well, but Tyson Kidd, there's just something better about him compared to D.H. Smith. I see right there, Miz, devastated knee right there. And now, the Miz here off the ropes goes Tyson Kidd. Miz ducks underneath. And now Miz is what he was going for. Tyson Kidd just too fast for him. And Miz, he's just been having a vicious streak throughout this matchup. He was extremely happy after attacking Jericho after Jericho's matchup against Primo on Superstars. And now Miz here. And what we saw that on Superstars, the neck breaker. And now David Hart Smith run down to ring and help out his tag team partner here. And Miz, he's going to try to wrap this one up. The skull crushing finale before David Hart Smith could even distract the ref. And now the referee hasn't even noticed David Hart Smith. I have no idea. David Hart Smith, was he too late? Yes, he was. The Miz with the 3 count against Tyson Kidd. The skull crushing finale, of course, being done after the Tilt-A-Whirl neckbreaker. The Miz will have victory here tonight on SmackDown. David Hart Smith not able to save his tag team partner in time. Wasn't sure if he was going to distract the ref, distract Miz, distract both. I have no idea. Bottom 9. Well, Miz will have victory. David Hart Smith wasn't able to get there in time. The Miz major victory. What will happen on Raw when Chris Jericho responds to the Miz's attack on Superstars? We shall see. That definitely should be interesting. So now we need to go backstage. Todd Grisham, he's going to interview Matt Hardy about Matt's matchup. As here we go. Of course, tonight, Matt Hardy, Undertaker 1-on-1. The World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line. And well, there you go. Matt Hardy, he's been climbing to the top of the ranks on SmackDown by defeating CM Punk on 2 occasions, of course. And well, that was leading to Punk's matchup at the Bash. Due to Matt Hardy defeating Punk, who was #1 contender heading into the Bash, that is why Matt Hardy has been given this title match. Because, of course, if Matt did defeat Punk in that steel cage matchup, then he would have gotten the title opportunity, which he did. The week before that steel cage matchup, Matt Hardy defeated Punk in a one-on-one contest. And then the steel cage matchup, if Matt won that one, then he would get a future world title opportunity after the Bash against either Punk or Taker, depending on who's world heavyweight champion. At the Bash, the Undertaker ended up defeating CM Punk. Taker retained the world heavyweight championship. And here tonight, the first edition of SmackDown after the Bash, Taker, Hardy, main event world title. And we're now former state champion Christian here, and oh man, here we go. SmackDown's being awfully chaotic. All these attacks here. A whole lot of them, if you ask me. AJ Styles, of course, was on the ECW. He was scheduled to have a matchup against Christian here tonight. Well, it is going to happen. Christian, of course, losing the ECW title to Zack Ryder at the Bash. And then, with ECW being dead, Ryder reinstated the Hardcore Championship. The 24/7 rule has returned. So, while Christian's no longer ECW champion, he could still become Hardcore champion. And the Hardcore Championship lineage will carry on from the ECW Championship lineage here in Nearest Mode. So, I guess Christian could still have the honor of being called the first ever ECW, or I guess you could say now Hardcore champion. The lineages will connect. Of course, Styles made his debut here in the WWE in the ECW brand, and now he's just been randomly sent over here to SmackDown. So he could still renew hostilities with Rob Van Dam, of course, as well. And right now, Christian has AJ Styles here and taking him down forward. Suplex, nicely done on part of the former ECW champion, Captain Charisma Christian. This should definitely be a good matchup between these two men here tonight. A very TNA matchup, to say at least. And dropkick to the outside goes Christian. AJ Styles here, taunting away. He's doing pretty well for himself so far. Attacking Christian before the matchup, which is very questionable on part of Styles. That is something Rob Van Dam will actually do. Not to mention Styles and Christian, they've previously teamed up 2 or 3 weeks back on ECW. So it's a little questionable on part of Styles, but hey, not sure if Christian will respect that or not. Christian, a wild veteran. And now, off the ropes goes Styles, taking him down. Kick right to the face. And now Styles here, doing pretty well for himself against the former ECW champion, against the veteran Christian. Christian definitely has to be impressed by the performance of Styles in this matchup so far. Of course, Styles did attack Christian before the match, which I believe so far here tonight on SmackDown, that's what happened in every matchup. And now Tilt-A-Whirl DDT right there. The amazing moveset of the self-proclaimed phenomenal one coming into play here. And now sidewalk backbreaker, taking down Captain Charisma. Styles really is impressing everyone here. And now springboard and DDT. So fluent, so smooth right there on the part of AJ Styles. It's completely amazing. And now here we go. Wearing down the calf crusher. Only a couple seconds, but it was effective. And now AJ Styles here looking to close out this matchup here. The Styles clash, and it connects. Rolling. Christian through 2 and 3. Dominant. Completely dominant. AJ Styles, big time victory over the former ECW champion Christian. Imagine if that was to happen on ECW. If ECW was still a brand, then that would have definitely led to Styles getting future ECW title opportunity in the first place. But now it's the Hardcore title, so now anyone could state their claim for it, which kind of makes it easier to win the title, to be fair. But yeah, there you go. AJ Styles, major victory for him. His first matchup here on SmackDown, and it's a big one over Christian. Taunting away. Questionable actions by him, to be fair, by attacking Christian early on in the matchup. But hey, everyone's done. McIntyre did it to RVD. Maryse did it to Alicia Fox. Styles did it to Christian. And Miz did it to Tyson Kidd. And they all won. So there you go. It's now going backstage here. Speaking of the Hardcore title, Kofi Kingston and Zack Ryder here talking backstage. Have no audio on them. No audio being picked up here, but Kofi and Ryder talking. Well, this should be weird. Eventually, I would like to think Kofi will be attacking Ryder. And now, Kofi walking away here. This is weird. Now, what? Zack Ryder eventually attacking Kofi. Ryder taunting away at Ryder. Ryder taunting away at Kofi. The Hardcore champion attacking Kofi Kingston. And now Kofi, he's getting back up here, and they're starting to brawl. And now let's see right there, Ryder taking him down. DDT. I guess Kofi was talking to Ryder about something. I don't know, I guess he was talking about a title match, because we could have title matches for the hardcore title. Well, in the ring at least. It doesn't have to always be backstage brawls or brawls in the ring. It could be an official matchup in that ring as a hardcore match. But, well, this is weird here. Have no idea what Kofi and Ryder was talking about, but I just know that Ryder probably didn't like it too much, attacking Kofi after the confrontation with the Hardcore Championship belt. And now hitting him with the fire extinguisher, and now the garbage can. As here in the parking lot, in the back of the arena here on SmackDown, see our monkey flip right there by Kofi. So now it's an official hardcore title 24/7 rule right here. Anyone could challenge at any place at any time. Parking lot, in that ring as we saw on Raw. It could be backstage, it could be anywhere. It could even be at Zack Ryder's house. If someone wants to be that crazy and that hungry for the hardcore title, it could actually be at Ryder's house. That even if Ryder could actually retain the title here tonight, because Kofi now, he could be a new hardcore champion. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, because Kofi, he's hurt. Got hit with the fire extinguisher, got hit with the garbage can on Ryder, which is using every weapon to his advantage. Now rake in the back shortly after. And now once again, second one, Ryder. Those nails right there. Going into play, a fourth rake at the back here. Kofi now, a fifth one, never mind. Getting sent into the car. This is a very dangerous environment for these two. Probably one of the most dangerous ones it could be for a hardcore title match. And when now Kofi taking him down with the forearm. And now Kofi Kingston now, the garbage can, and he's going to use it to his advantage. Giving Ryder a taste of his own medicine here, and not using the garbage can once again. Kofi looking to win the hardcore championship here tonight. In order to do that, he's going to have to be extreme. Kofi did not get drafted already. Stood here on SmackDown. Had a couple of tag team matches with Tyson Kidd, with JGG. And of course had a mini rivalry with Vince Archer. And well, of course JGG aligned himself with John Cena, along with Ezekiel Jackson and Shad. So there you go. And when now Kofi, well, JGG is now basically over on Raw now, along with Jackson and Shad. And when now see that forearm, not forearm, strike, a fist drop basically. Don't know why I didn't know that. And now here we go, side Russian leg sweep, and I think Ryder's out cold. The back of his head just hitting the concrete right there. And now we have to cut away now. Ryder, he's out cold, and now Kofi grabbing the hardcore title from the floor right next to the car, and Kofi, he's walking back to the arena. Kofi, I guess now he's the hardcore champion. Camera's having to cut away from the action though, because it's now time for your main event as Matt Hardy was ready to walk out here, and here we go. He's all fired up here tonight. The World Heavyweight title on the line, Matt Hardy. He did say Matt Hardy will not die, quote unquote. So, Matt Hardy looking to become the World Heavyweight Champion. And if that's not the case, he will not be put to rest by the dead man. He will not put to rest by the Undertaker here tonight on SmackDown. Your main event, SmackDown. And well, just a couple of days removed from the Bash, we could have a new World Heavyweight Champion. Of course, Taker has been holding the World Heavyweight title since Extreme Rules, which he won all the way back a month ago. So anyway, now here tonight, Matt Hardy could become the third ever World Heavyweight Champion in the history of the Serious Mode. First one being CM Punk, obviously. Then being Taker. And now it could actually be Matt Hardy here tonight. And now, well, here comes the dead man. The Phenom, the World Heavyweight Champion. Probably the single-handed most greatest superstar in all of sports entertainment. WWE or wrestling in general. Undertaker making his presence felt here tonight on SmackDown. He defends the World Heavyweight title after a pretty good performance against CM Punk at the Bash. Taker, is he fully 100%? I have no idea. We shall see. Of course, Taker and Punk have had many matches. Of course, a couple matches on SmackDown before their Backlash bout. Of course, the Backlash match in which Punk retained against Taker. The Extreme Rules match at Extreme Rules where Taker won the title from Punk. And of course, previously, a couple of days ago, at the Bash, where The Undertaker defeated CM Punk once again to retain the World Heavyweight title. Now, whether or not that rivalry is all sealed, settled, and done for, I have no idea. I do know one thing for sure, and that Punk no longer has a rematch clause. His rematch clause was used, well, at the Bash, and Punk lost. So now, definitely gotta think who's gonna challenge The Undertaker, or maybe even Matt Hardy for the World Heavyweight title, if Matt has to win. Because now if Matt wins here tonight, then, it's gonna be Undertaker, because Taker's gonna have his rematch clause. Maybe it could be Matt again, although the rematch clause will work a little differently for him. So anyway, now The Undertaker, probably the greatest force here in Euros mode. Not the WWE Champion Randy Orton over on Raw. If anything, he's having his own separate stuff going on with John Cena now, and Cena's new gang of buddies. But now Taker's just been pretty calm for him over on SmackDown. He's had his stuff with Punk. Now is that all said and done for? Not really too sure. And we're now Taker here, as the lights finally no longer dimmed here. Taker finally inside the ring after his long ass entrance. The Undertaker, the World Heavyweight Champion, staring a hole through Matt Hardy right there. Matt doesn't look intimidated at all. Taker doesn't. He looked impressed by his opponent. Well, Matt Hardy definitely is going to give one hell of a fight. He's defeated CM Punk on 2 occasions, and oh, come on. Speaking of Punk, right there in the crowd, he has a ticket. He has a ticket here tonight. He could just watch backstage, but no, he wants a closer view. So anyway, well, that answers the question. This Punk and Taker stuff, probably it's not over with. Probably it's not over it. At this point, I believe it's probably been 3 months. Has to be. Feels like it. Probably is. Anyway, now here off the ropes goes The Undertaker. Matt Hardy had him for a couple good seconds there, but maybe not for any longer. Matt trying to keep up here with those strikes against Taker, but he's missed a couple of them, and now that's going to be the crucial point in this matchup, as Taker now has his hands on Matt, taking him down, sidewalk backbreaker. Or at least a side backbreaker. Anyway, now has him camel clutch here. Matt Hardy with the rope still. Taker gonna immediately let go. Matt Hardy defeated CM Punk on 2 occasions. First in a singles competition, which was of course supposed to be, originally it was supposed to be a CM Punk momentum match. A Punk momentum match before the Bash to give him an extra victory, to give him some more momentum heading into his matchup against Taker at the Bash. Ultimately, it didn't work out too well, as now the strength for Taker being showcased. Taking down Matt Hardy. Well, of course, the momentum match turned into a major loss for Punk and a major victory for Matt Hardy. The week after that, we did have CM Punk take on Matt Hardy once again in a steel cage match, in which, if, Matt was to win once again, then he would get future title opportunity. Guess what? He won. And, yep, the rest is basically history. Because now it's all led up to this. Matt Hardy challenging The Undertaker for the World Heavyweight title. If Punk defeated Taker at the Bash, then maybe Matt Hardy would have it easier, because he has had Punk's number on 2 separate occasions. That GTS has put down Punk. Not the GTS. The side effect and the twist of fate has been very crucial to Matt Hardy's success against Punk. So if it was Punk here tonight, then maybe it'll be easier for Matt. But no, it's the dead man. As now Vergatom drop right there. Yeah, now neckbreaker shortly after. So far, Matt doing pretty well for himself. And now Matt Hardy gonna go high risk. Doesn't do this as much anymore. And now here he goes. Con for a leg drop. He misses. Taker able to avoid it. I don't even think Taker knew it was coming. Taker just simply got up. Not even sure if Taker, to be fair, dodged it on purpose. Bottom line, didn't work out too well for Matt Hardy. Trying to inspect with a couple strikes here. Has the arm of Taker now. Wrenches it down. The World Heavyweight Champion, The Undertaker, looking to retain the title here tonight. Obviously gets taken down for his troubles. What a major strike right there by Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy did say in that interview, the backstage interview with Todd Grisham, Matt Hardy will not die. And will that be true here tonight? Can Matt Hardy be a World Heavyweight Champion? Of course, a former ECW champion, and he's basically held every other title in the WWE. Besides, The two major ones, the WWE and the World Heavyweight, and now Taker has an electric chair drop. Taking down Matt Hardy. And Matt, this could actually be his final moments in this matchup here, because Taker, well, he had him where he wanted him, but Matt's still trying to fight back here. But a very educated hands of Taker. Those just vicious strikes. And now has him here. Matt with the rope break, though. Taker once again letting go. And now into a pinfall here. Once again a rope break, I was about to say. Because at this point, Matt could actually be worn down enough in which where maybe Taker could have him for at least a very close 2 count. Close on right there, but Matt Hardy taking off the head of the Undertaker. Nicely done by Matt. He's going to have to keep Taker grounded here. Needs to make sure Taker is not able to connect with those strikes, especially because those strikes could lead to a chokeslam, or a tombstone, or an old school, or a snake eyes, or a last ride. And now, one of those reasons why Matt's going to have to keep Taker down is because Taker could easily spring up out of nowhere like that. One uppercut stuns Matt long enough, and there we go, the tombstone power driver. Exactly what I was saying. Matt had to keep Taker down. But the dead man, he's prevailed here tonight. Yes, he has. The 3 count. Matt actually kicked out after 3. But Taker, it doesn't matter. Taker retains the World Heavyweight title. And now it's this. What the hell, Punk? Punk now. Was he in the crowd? Punk was backstage now. Taker has the World title around his waist now. And now both Punk and Taker exchanging blows here at the ramp. I didn't notice, but CM Punk somehow just went backstage while he was in the crowd. During the matchup, I would assume. Taker caught off guard. We all thought Punk was in the crowd. Punk just came from the ramp now, and these two men brawling. We saw this with Ryder and Primo on Raw. This is not going to end up being too pretty. And oh no, come on, Taker, come on. Not this far. Just for this, and Taker the last ride. Taking down CM Punk. The Undertaker once again with a 1-up over the Stray Edge Savior.